Hello, dear soulmates. Welcome to the Honest Fashion Academy. My name is Justice. So, I trust we're all doing great. In this video, I'm going to be showing us how to draft a straight skirt, okay, with butt enhancements and knee contouring. The knee contouring is so because it's going to have a long slit at the back. So even if it's going to just be a straight skirt, it will not be tight. Okay, so I hope you have subscribed to this channel, and if you've not, please do well to do so. If you're a returning subscriber, welcome, welcome, welcome. So let's go right in. Okay, so here we're going to be using paper to draft the pattern, and we're trying to get the length of our skirt from the waist measurement to the full length of the skirt where we want it to stop. We can see the way I've marked it. Those are the border lines. Okay, so after the border lines at the top and at the side, one side of the paper, we're going to be getting the width of the paper that we need. And for us to get the width of this paper, we're going to be using the highest measurement that we'll have, which is usually the hip measurement. So we'll be dividing our hip circumference by 2, and that is what we are marking. Hip circumference divided by 2, you mark and then rule it across, like straight up. Okay, so once you've gotten the hip measurement, you're going to locate the midpoint of where you marked on your paper, which is exactly what we are doing. And once you locate the midpoint, just mark it straight up. That's dividing the front and the back, because the skirt is going to be drafted front and back together. So we're kind of dividing our paper into two after getting the full measurement that we need, right? That is the width of the paper, or the measurements that we need, which the hip was used. So here we've gotten that, and so we're going to mark our waist to hip measurement. I assume that you already know where to take this measurement. Our waist to hip measurement, that's your waist where the skirt is going to be, to the length of your hip, the widest part of your hip. So here we're using 9 inches, and from there you mark your knee length from your waist to where your knee of the skirt is going to be, or your actual knee is going to be. So these are known as the length parameters, right? The vertical measurements, and that's what we are marking across at the hip line. And then you can label it so as not to forget. And then you're also going to be marking across on the knee line, right? And then you can still label it so that you don't forget what where they are or what they mean. Okay, so here we have our CB center back, and this will serve as our center point. So here is going to be the front part of our skirt, while the other side will be the back of our skirt. Now our waist we're working with is 32, and we're going to be dividing 32 into 4. For the front, we're going to be marking 8 inches, which is 32 divided by 4. We're marking 8 inches. Just bear in mind that this skirt does not have a dart in front, right? It does not have a dart in front. So we're taking our actual measurement, and we're going to be connecting it to the hip point. You can see the way the curve is placed. This is if the person is a curvy person, but if the person is kind of straight, just use a straight line. Okay, so you don't have excess by the side. If the person is straight, use a straight line. If the person is curvy, use a curvy line. Then we want to mark what is known as pouch. Here we're marking 1 inch below our waistline, so that you eliminate anything that has to do with smile lines below the waist of your skirt. This is very, very important, right? You know what smile lines are. So once you eliminate those, fold. below the abdomen, and this is known as pouch. Now we're going over to the back. For us to enhance the buttocks, we need to go in from the CV, right? Here we're marking 3/4 of an inch or 2 cm. This is more like a standard. You can also use half inch, but if the person's waist at the back is so deep, you can use up to 1 inch, right? You slant it and this will make it possible for the butt at the back to be enhanced. So from wherever you mark, you begin your back measurement from there. Okay, but it seems that in this case I increased it to 1 inch because of the person's um the, because of the person's body shape. Okay, the back is kind of deep, so I had to increase it to enhance the buttocks more, and also she has a pronounced buttocks behind. Okay, so from wherever the measurement stops, that's me marking the 1 inch, increasing what I have up to 1 inch. So from there, I'm going to be marking my back waist measurement divided by 4 plus 1 inch for that, right? That is what we marked at the front plus 1 inch because the back is going to have that. I hope I'm making sense. I hope you're understanding what I'm saying. The front does not have a dart, but the back has a dart. So we marked 8 inches for the front. So at the back, we're going to be adding 1 inch so that our darts will be added as well. So we've connected to the hip line. Like I said before, if the person is straight, use a straight line. If the person is curvy, use a curvy line. Okay, so from there we're going to locate the midpoint of what we've marked. As I'm talking, you're following the direction so that you understand what we're saying. You mark the midpoint, and that is where your dart is going to be. So because we added 1 inch for that, we're going to be having half inch on both sides. Now to get the height of the dart that we need for the back measurement, we're going to be doing 0.75 times waist to hip measurement. So the waist to hip measurement here is 9 inches, and we're going to be multiplying 0.75 by 9 inches, and that is giving us 6.75. So this is how to get the height of your dart. If you're putting a dart in front, you can use 0.5 times your waist to hip measurement. Whatever it gives you, that is the height of the dart you need at the front. I hope this is understood. If you do not understand, please rewind and listen to it again. So here we've gotten the height of our darts. You can also do 2 inches from your hip measurement, your hip line, to get the height of your dart. So we're marking half inch on both sides, half inch on both sides to connect to a dart leg, right? You can see the way it's going so smoothly and beautifully well. I hope you understand. Please, if you understand anything from this video, give it a thumbs up. I
Now
want
for
to
us to
see your
get the
comments in
knee
the comment
measurement or
section
the knee
and what you
tightening,
have to say.
okay, we're going
So
to be
now we're
using the
moving over
step
to the
guide
knee
formula. The
area.
step guide formula
How do
simply
we
means that you ask
contour
your
the
client
knee,
or the person
like
you're making
tighten
the
the knee?
dress for
Okay.
yourself to be in a motion position like she wants to walk, okay. So while in that position of wanting to walk, you take the knee circumference so that after you're done sewing it will not be tight on the person. So in this case we took the motion position of the knee and we got 36. All right, and the hip circumference is 42. So what we are going to do is to minus 36 from 42, right? And that is going to give us 6 inches, right? So we're going to be dividing 6 inches by what we have. Now our paper is unfold into two, so we're keeping 3 inches aside for the other part of the measurement that is not here. I hope you understand. This is divided into four, and here we have two patterns, meaning that all measurements are divided by 2 here on this paper. So we're dividing the 6 by 2, and 3 is kept aside for the other one that is not here, and the remaining 3 inches is what we're going to be dividing on this pattern. So for the front is on fold. We're going to be minusing 1 inch from here for the front, and the back we're going to be minusing 1 inch from the CB side, and at this CB we're going to be minusing 1 inch also. All right, and after that we're going to be connecting it to the hip measurement. So that's what we're going to be doing here for our knee tightening. So I hope that was well understood. For us to know the amount of tightening we need at the knee, you need to ask your client to be in a working position so that you take the circumference of the knee. Okay, so whatever you take, you minus it from the hip and use it to contour your knee. This is just one aspect that you can use to contour your knee. There are other methods that you can use, which we cannot mention in this video. You can do well to watch our previous videos where we mentioned 3 methods that you can use to contour your knee. I hope this is well understood. So we're making it to the hip line, and you can see the way it's looking. It's going to contour very well depending on the person's measurements. So whatever we have here, we're going to be marking it straight down, okay? We're going to be marking it straight down. No other removal is going to be done. Everything is going to just be very straight, okay? It's as simple as that. Okay, we've spent 12 minutes here and I've not asked you to subscribe to this channel. Please, please, please come close and answer your question once more. Have you subscribed to this channel? Yes. Thank you very much. If you've not subscribed, please go and subscribe right away. Turn on the notification bell so that you get to be notified whenever we upload a new video. All right, so we continue, and this is what our pattern looks like. Very beautiful. Our straight skirt is ready. So all we have to do is cut out the pattern and place it on a fabric, and the rest becomes history that makes things beautiful. Okay, so we're going to be cutting out the pattern right away. Okay, I want to ask a question. Do you like or do you enjoy cutting on the floor or on the table? I'll need your comments in the comment section. As for me, I like to cut on the cutting table, but just sometimes, I just feel like being on the floor and doing the whole thing, okay? Especially when I'm tired of standing. Of course, standing at the table can be very tiring. If you don't have a seat, it can be very tiring. So here we're done cutting out the papers, and we're going to place them on our fabric and use it to cut the skirts that we're about to make. So this is the fabric we'll be using. This fabric has patterns, and because of the patterns, when you have fabric that has a pattern, do well to align it properly so that the pattern will give it the beauty. Excuse me, that's the design on the fabric. So I kept excess by the side because I want this design to appear at the front of this skirt. So for our band, we're not going to be adding extra. We are cutting our band from the pattern that we have. So measure the size of your band. Here I measured 1.5 inches and cut it out from the pattern. So it's not advisable to add extra
allowance for band when you have the pattern that is coming from your actual waistline. It's just going to be excess, like a high waist. So that is not advisable. If you have your pattern, cut your band from your pattern and use it to cut the fabric and fix it back so that it gives you a normal measurement. I hope this is understood for both back and front. So this is the front and back. You can see the way the pattern is looking so beautiful. The front looks so beautiful too. And this is what we have. I wish I can show you the sewing, but that will be in another video. Thank you, thank you, thank you for watching down to this moment. If you've not subscribed, please, I don't know what you're waiting for. Thank you and bye.